It's time for the Daily Stand Up Podcast presented by AgileDad with your host, Lee Henson. Without any further ado, let's get started. All right, it's time for our Friday Agile, Not So Agile episode of the Daily Stand Up Podcast. And as always, I like to start with a story. Picture this: you wake up in the morning, hop out of bed, and go outside. You feel the warm sunshine on your face and hear the birds singing their morning tunes in the distance. You feel an overwhelming bliss and gratitude that life is truly yours. That, I can honestly say, has been me for most days in the past year. The author goes on to say, as I'm writing this, a want to make sure I say that right, a New Zealand native wood pigeon plopped on a fern right outside my window. I was distracted for a good half hour, and it reminded me again how grateful I am to live here in New Zealand. I'll be honest, there are also days when no amount of cute native birds or rays of sunshine can make me feel alive. There are days when I curse the poor decision making that went into thinking an outdoor kitchen was a good idea. But this is a story of gratitude, not about minor annoyances. You become more attuned to natural elements when you're off the grid and dependent on nature for your basic needs. We've depended on the sun's power for energy and waiting for rain to collect our water for some time. Off grid living truly necessitates connection with the natural world. You learn to make the most of what nature provides. Everything around you becomes a potential resource. For example, dead trees can become valuable firewood. This lifestyle forces you to become creative and resourceful, not taking anything around you for granted. You learn to appreciate the rain, which provides drinking water and the ability to shower and do your dishes without having to worry. After a couple of weeks of sunshine, we were left with only a quarter tank of water. When that rain finally came, I wasn't complaining about it as I usually would have. I loved and enjoyed every drop of it. But after a few cloudy days filled up our water tanks, we were lucky to see some sunshine again so we could do our laundry and have it dry in the sun. Living this way feels less forceful. You adopt to your surroundings. I can't do laundry when the sun isn't shining because there's insufficient electricity. This means I also don't have to feel guilty about not doing it. There's a natural flow to living life this way. When I started this series, I thought about the aspect of my lifestyle and which lesson is hiding here that I could share with others. And I believe that lesson is gratitude. What stands out is that living in alignment with natural elements cultivates a deep sense of gratitude and awe for the world around us. Each sunrise and sunset, each gust of wind or patter of rain serves as a reminder of the interconnectedness of everything. It brings me back to the absolute core of being, and it reduces the noise around me. We are paying so much attention to things that don't really matter and often fail to pay attention to the things that matter the most. We spend hours scrolling other people's travel pictures on social media, but don't see the beauty of the things that are right around us. This life is too short to be worrying about little things. Here's the lesson I have learned from being ridiculously dependent on nature. Stop worrying about the things you can't control. Look around you, appreciate life for what it is, and appreciate the beauty that is all around you. Stop forcing things to happen and get in line with the natural flow of things. You might think you have nothing to be grateful for. Life might be pretty tough for you right now. I've been there. Some days there has been much to be thankful for. Some days my proudest moment was getting out of bed or the fact that I actually made it to work. Some days it takes until midday to hop into the shower. Those days are okay. They're part of this life. I started this article with a quote from Maya Angelou. That quote was, "This is a wonderful day. I have never seen this one before." That's an interesting quote. "This is a wonderful day. I've never seen this one before." I wish we all had that kind of attitude, right? Um, it's just one of those things that if you can get into that zone, her life is remarkable. Although she faced childhood trauma, poverty, and discrimination, she always managed to focus on the positive side of things and encourage others to practice gratitude often. Practicing gratitude can literally change your brain. Adopting a heart and mind of gratitude, adopting a gratitude practice, can profoundly impact your psychological and physical well being. Studies have shown that people who practice gratitude tend to report higher levels of life satisfaction, happiness, and positive effect. They are more likely to experience emotions such as joy, optimism, and contentment, which contribute to overall psychological well being. Gratitude also significantly strengthens interpersonal relationships and social bonds. Grateful individuals are more likely to express appreciation and gratitude towards others, leading to increased feelings of connectedness, trust, and social support. Lastly, there is evidence to suggest that gratitude indirectly influences physical well being through its effects on psychological and social factors. For example, gratitude is associated with lower stress levels, improved coping strategies, and healthier lifestyle behaviors, all of which contribute to better physical health outcomes. I hear you thinking, that's great, but do I now need more to move off the grid to get all these positive effects? Well, no, of course not. Here are a few ways that you can practice gratitude where you are. A simple gratitude practice can deepen your appreciation of what's around you. Start or finish each day by naming at least one thing that you're grateful for, and try not to repeat anything you said for the last 30 days. My husband and I, or in this case, my wife and I, often finish the day this way and ask each other about one thing that we're thankful for during the day. It started as a joke when we were at a pretty low point in our life, but in fact, it helped us focus on positive things. Here's one of my favorites. Gratitude journaling is perhaps the most well known method of practicing gratitude. It can come in all shapes and forms, but the essence is to adopt a regular habit of listing things that you're grateful for in a journal. Don't make the mistake I made and go out and buy several pretty journals in the hope that you'll somehow automatically instill a habit. Open up a Word doc, a Google Note, or a Notion page, or grab a good old fashioned piece of paper, and you're good to go. It doesn't have to be anything special. Another one is grateful contemplation. Grateful contemplation is similar to journaling, but doesn't require writing anything down. I use this one at the end of my meditation sitting. Before getting up, I think about things I'm grateful for and just allow myself to feel that gratitude. There's something about visualizing that gives this type of practice a little bit of a boost. What about shifting attention? This technique works when you're feeling particularly down. It's similar to Stoic practice of focusing only on what you can control. You shift your attention away from the negative and instead direct all your energy towards the positive aspects of your life, the positive things that are happening. What about expressing gratitude directly? Going to someone and telling them why you're grateful for them or for something they did is probably the most tricky, but also the most rewarding option. It's more tricky because it means getting over potential anxiety and giving others feedback, but it's so rewarding to tell someone why you genuinely appreciate them. Whether you're off the grid or living in a big city, the lessons learned from living in alignment with the elements are invaluable. Embracing gratitude has made a big difference for me, and I know it can do the same for you. Find ways to show gratitude. When you lose yourself in the service of others, when you discover who you really are, find ways to discover everything that you're grateful for, whether it's in nature, whether it's in life. And when you do these things, you're going to find that you're a stronger, better person. That's going to do it. I hope you have an amazing weekend. Until next week, I encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Do take care.